friends, Brianna here. First, I just want to apologize for like the weird location. I'm sitting in the guest room upstairs and I have bad lighting in here, but there's no place in this house that's quiet and well lit at the same time at this current moment. So this is where I am and I hope it's okay. This is actually Casey's room. I'm on the floor in Casey's room. Both Casey and I failed to get a video up last week because we're both just been struggling, as I'm sure you all can relate. Things are just rough right now. So I apologize that we didn't get a video up last week, but here I am now with a video. I'm doing my O.W.L.s Magical Readathon April wrap up here for you guys. Also, before I get into that, I did just want to give a quick refresher because I know we've gotten a lot of new subscribers lately. Like we went from having 30 subscribers to like 50 subscribers in like the span of like less than 2 weeks. And I don't know what happened there, but thank you, first of all. But I just wanted to kind of give you guys a refresher in case you're super new here and you don't really like know about the channel. Because I know you can find like one of my videos or one of Casey's videos and then subscribe, and then you might be confused when the next video in your sub box is a whole different person. So, little refresher to the new people here. There are two of us here on this channel. Me, Brianna, and my best friend Casey. We're a best friend duo here on this channel. We alternate posting videos, so it's like I'll post a video today, Casey will post one in a few days, and then I'll post one a few days after that. We try to get 2 videos up a week, one from each of us. Usually we do, but you know, things are hard right now, so everything's just kind of crazy. But anyways, so yeah, there's 2 of us on the channel here. Casey mostly focuses on romance books lately. She's been in a super big romance mood, whereas I've mostly just focused on fantasy, high fantasy, YA fantasy, whatever. And that's that on that. And thank you to all of our new subscribers lately. We really appreciate that people are coming to our channel and enjoying what we're putting out there and want to like talk with us about books. It's just all we want. That's why we came here. So thanks, guys. Into the wrap up. I managed to read, I think, about 2,600 some words this month, which was impressive because every single word I read was such a struggle. I've been sick literally all month, so reading was really hard. I didn't completely follow the TBR I'd set up, so if you watched my TBR video, I did not completely follow that, but I mostly stuck to it. I did manage to read everything that fit the prompts for both careers I chose, so I did complete 2 different careers. I completed Magizoologist and Trader of Magical Tomes, I think was the other one. And I'm so proud that I did it, because it was so hard. But I did it. So the first thing that I read was Shadows for Silence in the Forests of Hell by Brandon Sanderson. It's a short Cosmere novella. It's very short. I think on Scribd it's like 80 pages, so I don't actually know what that equals out to in like real pages, but we're just gonna count it as 80 pages because I'm not doing any math today. But it was the very first thing I read. I read it in like one little sitting because it was very quick, very easy. It was very good. I love Brandon Sanderson's writing. I loved getting to see a new glimpse into a new Cosmere world, and I'm excited to see more from this planet. Hopefully he'll give us more because it was really interesting. I really liked Silence as a character. She was not what I was expecting at all, so she was super fun. And this was for the prompt for a potions class to read something under 150 pages, so that's why I picked it, because it was very short, and it was a lot easier than trying to find an actual short proper novel, because that's hard, because I like really, like, you know, big, heavy books. I like long stories, so that was difficult for me, so I just went with the short story. I think I gave it 5 stars, because Sanderson, Cosmere, that's all I care about in the world. The next thing that I picked up was Crown of Feathers. This was for, which prompt was this for? Care of Magical Creatures, something with a beak on the cover. I liked this book so much. It was so much fun. It was not quite what I was expecting. It wasn't like, there were flaws. It's not like a perfect book, but it was really fun. Really fun adventure. I liked the characters. I liked the world building. I liked all of the stuff with the phoenixes. I was so into it that the moment I finished this book, I ordered the sequel. I still haven't picked it up yet because I was so busy trying to fill in all these prompts. But now that this month is over, I can read the sequel. So I'm excited about that. I think I gave it 4 stars on Goodreads. It was super fun. It did not go down the roads I thought it would. Parts of it were predictable, but like it didn't ruin the enjoyment for me. And I'm really excited to see what book 2 is gonna do, because it was real good, guys. It was really good. After that, I read A Curse So Dark and Lonely. This was to fit the transfiguration prompt for shape-shifting. I liked this book. I was a little bored with parts of it. I don't know, my feelings on it were complicated. I enjoyed it. By the end of it, I was much more into the characters than I was in the beginning. I don't know, Beauty and the Beast retelling. So there were moments where our like Beast character and our female lead, who's meant to break the curse, have known each other for like less than 12 hours, and they keep saying things like, he had an uncanny ability to do this thing, and she had an uncanny ability to make me feel like this. And I'm like, you've known this bitch for 12 hours? Like, that doesn't make any sense. I don't know, there were small things like that I was just nitpicking that annoyed me. But by the end of it, I was much more intrigued with the story. I really liked the characters by the end. They definitely grew on me. They were compelling. And now that I've finished book 1 and we've kind of gotten through what you know of a Beauty and the Beast retelling, I'm excited to read book 2 and kind of see where the story kind of ventures off on its own from there. I think that's one thing that I tend to like about fairy tale retellings is like I like seeing what they do with the fairy tale, but then I like to see kind of where they take it after that, because that's just always so interesting, where it's like you have this setup that everybody knows the setup and you can kind of do your own thing with it, but then where's it gonna go from there? Like, that's the most intriguing part for me. Anyways, I think I gave this 3.5 stars, maybe? I think it was 3.5 stars on Goodreads, but I'm really excited to read the second one. I hope the second one kind of picks up the pace a little bit, because I have faith that it can be really, really good, but this one just it didn't suck me in enough, but it was enough that I want to keep reading. So there's that one on that. After I read A Curse So Dark and Lonely, what did I read? I don't know. I don't remember what I read. Okay, so next I read An Unkindness of Magicians. There it is. This was for the prompt for, gosh, it doesn't want to show, does it? This was for the prompt for Charms, which was Lumos. You needed to have a white cover. Now, I had Charms class for both Magic Zoologist Career and Trader of Magical Tomes, and I had picked out 2 books because I thought you had to do it twice if you were doing multiple careers. But that is not the case. So I only read 1. So I did not read Red Queen, which was on my TBR for one of those instances of Charms. I just read An Unkindness of Magicians. There it is. This was really short, really quick. It was interesting. I liked a lot of elements of this book, but it wasn't what I expected going in. To be fair, I didn't really know anything about it going in, other than that it had to do with magicians because it's in the title. I remember hearing praise for it a long time ago, and about it being really interesting, and how it had like a really twisted ending, and all these things, and it just kind of fell flat for me. Like, it didn't have any of that. I liked the characters, but like, you're just kind of really thrown into it without any kind of explanation of what's what or what's going on, and you're just kind of expected to roll with the punches, and like, that's fine. I don't hate when books do that, but it was also such a short book that it's like by the time I got my grasp on things, it was over, and I just wasn't caring enough. So I think I also gave this 3 stars. It was good, but not what I was hoping for from it. After that, I picked up The Hazelwood. This was for the prompts History of Magic, which had to do with like witches or wizards, and this was technically on like the recommended Google Doc that people suggest things on, and I guess it very kind of technically fits the prompt now that I read it. It does have like fairy tale stuff. There is like some witchy kind of nonsense, but it's not like on the nose enough that I would have said it fit the prompt, but that's fine. It fit. Whatever. I was originally going to read Spellbook of the Lost and Found, but by the time I got to the point where I wanted to pick up a book for this prompt, I just wasn't in the mood for it, and this seemed like it would just be a fun, quick, easy breeze of a ride. The thing about this book, I really liked the first half of this book. It was a slow pace in the first half of the book, but there were like all of these just fun little elements coming in that kept it real interesting for me. The first half of the book, when like she's just kind of learning all of these things, and you're getting to learn about like the fairy tales, which were super fun and creepy. The fairy tales in here were really creepy. I really liked those, and they were fun, and like all of those just kind of fantastical elements that were kind of being dropped into your normal setting. I was all about it. But once we got to the point in the story, it was like directly at the halfway point. I think it was like literally halfway in the book when things are like pick up, and she's, you know, swept off her feet into like all of this insane stuff. And that's when like the story is like picking up pace, and it's supposed to be exciting and fun, and like you're on your ride towards the climax, and it's supposed to be like amazing. But that's where it fell flat for me. I'm not saying it wasn't good, but the pacing was off, because the first half was like just like, it wasn't slow, but it was just like a nice easy pace with like all these things kind of being dropped into it, and then it was like really fast paced for a little while all these things were happening, and then it slowed down again like at the end, and it was just, I didn't vibe with it. Also, I found out it has a sequel. The way this book ended doesn't make me feel like it needs a sequel. I don't know if I plan to read the sequel. Let me know in the comments down below if you think I would like it, if the sequel is better. I liked our characters, I liked the relationships, I liked the fairy tales, but by the end of the story, I just wasn't caring enough. There was a point where I was close to the end of the story and I was like, what is this bitch's name? Oh right, it's Alice. Like, I didn't remember her name while I was reading the book. That's how bored I got with it. Which could also just be, like, the mindset I was in because I've been sick and reading has been such a struggle. So, like, if I'd been in a better mindset, I might have just had a little more fun with it. But the first half of the book I really liked. I was super into it, so I don't know what happened there. So let me know if I should read the sequel, because I don't know. I don't have any intention to right now because of how much I did not really care for the ending of this book. Let me know. After that, I finished reading Winter's Heart by Robert Jordan. This was to fill the ancient rune prompt, which have heart on the cover or in the title, and I kind of technically cheated because I had already started this book before April, but I wasn't very far in, and I was sick, so I don't care. It counts. This was book number 9 of the Wheel of Time, and let me tell you, got a lot of thoughts. I have a lot of thoughts. I'm not going to dive into that here, but I'm going to do a whole Wheel of Time video in the near future. I don't know if I want to do one where I'm at now in the series and kind of give my thoughts now and kind of my predictions before I get to the end, or just wait till I finish the whole series and do this like one big Wheel of Time thoughts video. I don't know. If you have any opinions on that, let me know in the comments down below. But this one, I think this is supposed to be the last book in like the slog where things are just not that great. Not to say that there weren't good things in this book. There were good moments, good character moments, good scenes, good stuff, but I just feel like Robert Jordan in the past few books is like trying to stretch this story out for no reason. Like, I feel like a lot of the stuff that's happening in like the past few books, like from maybe at least book 7 to here, maybe it was book 6 to 9, I'm not entirely sure. But it's like so much stuff, it just doesn't feel necessary. I feel like not that much stuff happened in this book, not that much stuff happened in the last one, not that much stuff happened in the one before it. There are like big scenes and big moments, but it's all just dispersed within like all of this stuff that just doesn't, it's just not, I don't know. It's really, I have a lot of feelings on it. Anyways, my biggest gripe with this book is that two main characters were not in this book. This is not the first time Robert Jordan has done this. There's been multiple times where you go through an entire book without getting a main character's point of view. Now, I consider the main characters in Wheel of Time to be, there's 6 main characters. There's the 3 girls and then the 3 boys. Those are your 6 main characters in my personal opinion. There's a lot of other characters who can be considered main characters because it's such a freaking big cast. But those are your main 6. 2 of them were not in this book. One of them was technically in a scene, technically speaking. Whatever. And then the book before this, book 8, did not have a main character in it. And I'm just like, it's frustrating to have such a big fantasy world that's so big with a cast that's so big that you literally have to leave out multiple main characters in a single book to tell your story. I just don't think it's necessary. I feel like so much of this could have been condensed down or even like combined. Like this book and the last book could have been merged into one book. The past like 3 books have actually been pretty short. This one's like this one's not even 600 pages, and the one before that was like barely 600 pages. Like if you cut some stuff out and then merge them, it would have been better. That's my whole opinion on that. Anyways, I think I gave it 3 stars. But I'm really excited to get to book 10 because I think that's when it picks back up and gets real good, is what I've heard. I think book 10 and 11 are like when you get back to like Robert Jordan just kind of getting his reins back and getting it really good before, sadly, the torch gets passed. After that, the last prompt I had to fill was herbology. The prompt was Mimblus Mimbletonia. You needed to read something that started with an M. I was originally planning to read Muse of Nightmares, but it's been a long time since I read Strange the Dreamer, so I wanted to reread Strange the Dreamer before reading Muse of Nightmares, and at the beginning of the month, I thought that was possible. But here towards the end of the month, I was like, it's not gonna happen. So I was trying to find something really quick and easy that started with an M that I could read just to get this prompt out of the way because it was my last one, and I really wanted it. So I ended up picking a poetry collection I found on Scribd. Can you see that? There we go. It's called Mouthful of Forevers. It was actually really lovely. It was about 100 pages in Scribd. I don't know what that equals out to, but it had a few good poems in it. Like, I mean, the whole collection was nice, but there was a few solid gems in there. I got called out a little bit by some of them. I ended up reading it pretty quickly, and then I finished. So I ended up reading all of the books I needed to fit all of the prompts. So I've completed Magic Zoologist and Trader of Magical Tomes. I think my favorite read out of the bunch was Crown of Feathers. It was just a lot of fun, and I'm really excited to read the sequel. I'll probably do that sometime in the next few days before I jump into some Cosmere rereads, because it's almost time to just dive on into the Cosmere. Speaking of which, I have some fun, lighthearted videos coming out for you guys next week, so please stay tuned. And once again, apologies for not having a video up last week. Both Casey and I have been just struggling. You guys might not care that much because we're still a fairly new channel and no one's like that involved with us yet, but there's a lot of new people here watching, I think. The number went up anyway, so I hope you're watching. Thanks for watching, all of that jazz, and I hope everyone is staying safe and feeling great and staying sane. And see you guys next time. Life Before Death, Radiance.